Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, and today Lori and I just got done playing Caldera Park by Kramer and Kiesling. It's a sister game, so to speak, to Savannah Park. This game is a 2022 title, listed on Board Game Geek, but we're going to call it 2023. We just got around to getting it, and yeah, I'm going to call it 23 title. What makes a difference? But this is a pattern building game. It's for 1 to 4 players, and it's set collection and tile placement, and the most points wins. Before I get started, I'm going to talk a little bit about the production of the game, but I just want to tell you, I know a lot of you that watch my videos have seen our cat Toothless and our little black kitten we had. He's only 6 months old, and he got a neurological brain disorder, and it really took him downhill quick, and we had to put him to sleep a couple days ago, so we're very somber right now. And I know that those of you who are pet owners know what I'm talking about. I mean, it is what it is. We love our pets, and Toothless was well loved for the six months that he lived, and he was rescued out of a Dollar General parking lot, and he spent 3 months with us. Yeah. So he had 3 months of a good life, and we were glad to do that, and he gave us lots of love in return. So yeah, anyways, back to the board gaming thing. Caldera Park is a sister style game to Savannah Park, and I will talk a little bit about the differences in a second. But this is by Savannah Park by Kramer and Kiesling also, and I think it was a 2021.
Yeah, that's so.
But yeah, it comes in a pretty sturdy box. Wanted to talk about that, so you guys know what you're getting when you buy this game. Each one of, just like Savannah Park, you get these little cardboard boxes that you put together to hold the specific animal tokens, and they make a picture in the bottom of the box, so I think that's pretty cool. The rule book is... okay, I wish I could say the rule book is really good, because we had a problem with the game. We played it wrong for the first 2 times we played it.
Maybe it's just us.
Maybe it was us, yeah. It could be just us.
The way we read it.
Yeah, the way we read this rule book, we played the game wrong twice.
Yeah, a lot more restrictive. It's a lot easier than we played it.
And this is what the board looks like when you get done playing the game. This is what you start out looking like when you begin the game. And this action board is really one of the things about Caldera Park is kind of fun. You're going to have 6 animal tokens and a lake token, so 7 action tokens on this row right here, and on your turn you're going to simply select one of the animal tokens or the lake token and move it up to a action terrain space. The only exception being the lake token has to go straight up to this space right here. But the animal tokens, you select an animal and you say, well, okay, I'm going to select the moose in the mountains. Now, all players must select one of their tiles that has a moose on it. Now, it can have a combination with a moose and other animals, or it can have a moose and a lake, or whatever, but it has to have a moose on it, and you're going to place it in the mountain region, which can be anything in the mountain region. It can be a space with a river on it, with a waterfall on it, anything in the mountains. And that's kind of where we messed up.
We were only putting it on mountain spaces that didn't have rivers and waterfalls. We were too restrictive.
We played it very literally, very restrictive. We played where you'd had to put it on just a plain mountain space. And even on these tiles here around this is a geyser, and it means you have to place a tile around a geyser. We took this to mean you had to place it on one of the 3 plain types of terrain. And so it was very restrictive, and I can't say it wasn't fun, because it was fun. Yeah. I mean, it was really hard. You really had to think harder. And then as we thought about it, and we're like, what the heck, wait a minute, maybe this is right.
That doesn't sound right.
So we kind of tried to research it a little bit, and in the rule book it does say for these any space, which is fine, except it really doesn't show any space. If it had a river and a waterfall on it, and then all 3 of these terrain things, I guess I would take that to mean any space. But anyways, yeah, we played it wrong. We just got done playing it correctly, and it is easier played correctly.
Yes.
It's an easier game, but still very puzzling.
Yes.
Still enough there to really make you think. I think...
I actually got a lower score.
Gloria, I don't know if she did that. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. But anyways, yeah, this is your action selection board that you're going to use, and then down at the bottom here is your scoring, and this is your first player marker, and then once at the end of the game you're just going to move it along these different terrains and score the different terrains, because you get points for covering all of one type of terrain up, all your rivers up, surrounding all your geysers, and then your contiguous animal gatherings that you have on your board. And that's the way this action selection board works. Now when you start the game, of course, you're going to have all these tiles on here, and Let's put them all on here randomly just so you can see what it looks like when you start the game. Boom, 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 boom. That's your action selection board. And then on this board, the thing that makes this different than Savannah Park the most is the weather tiles. Because you get, I think, 9 of them in your, I'm going to guess, 9 or 10 of these weather tiles, but you're only going to use 6 of them, and you don't know which ones. But to start the game out, you're going to select one and place it anywhere on the board. Now you can select this face-up one, which gives you an extra animal for any contiguous group that you have, but it has to go in a weather space. And then the rest of them are face down, but you're just going to grab one and place it anywhere on one of the 6 white spaces. Those are weather spaces. And put it on your board, and then you'll select another one to begin the game and place it in order, clockwise order, on the board, and then you begin your action selections over here. And these weather tiles restrict what you can put around it. For instance, this weather cloud only shows 1 weather cloud, and there are other tiles that show 2 and 3 weather clouds. Similar to Savannah Park's fires, but you cannot put any animal tokens that have just 1 animal on them around this. So if you had a moose and a lake, that counts as against this. You can't do that. You know, it's one animal. It's just one animal.
It is just like the Savannah Park fires. You're right.
Yeah, and so that's very similar to Savannah Park. Now, this is a weather tile that disallows you to place a bear, a wolf, or a lake next to it. You see what I'm getting at? These tiles are very restrictive once they come out on the board. Now the bad thing about those is you don't know which ones are left down here. You're building on your board and placing tiles, and if you get near one of those weather spaces where you haven't placed a weather tile, you're kind of wondering, do I want to push my luck here and place three bears next to that weather space, knowing there's a 3 cloud weather tile, which may not even be in the game. Yeah. It may not even be in the game, but it may be there. So you don't know, and that's part of the fun of this game. It's that kind of blind type of adventure taking or risk taking that you're going to experience in this game, and then you're going to have to follow whatever the choice is that person makes. If they say they want to place an eagle on a waterfall, you have to do that. You have to select an eagle tile from the face-up tiles on your board and place it on a waterfall, if you can do that. In other words, if you don't have an eagle tile, you'll take something else and place it on a waterfall. If you have no waterfalls, you can place whatever tile you want wherever you want. Okay? So that's what happens when things start disappearing in this game. It gets a little easier because you can start placing things wherever you want them. And then you're going to score contiguous groups of animals on the board.
Yeah, that part's just like Savannah Park.
That part's just like
Savannah Park. With the watering
Park.
holes, the whole bit.
But it's the weather tiles and this action selection board that make the game different than Savannah Park. And Lori asked me when we just got done playing, which one would you choose if you had to give one of them up? And I said Savannah Park, didn't I? Yeah, yep. I said Savannah Park. Because Savannah Park to me is brilliant. And this game is brilliant too. I'm keeping this, by the way.
I said Caldera Park.
Yeah, she said Caldera because this is a little more complex. There's a little more to think about in this game than Savannah Park. But for the point I was making was Savannah Park, Kramer and Kiesling took a simple mechanism and built a whole game around it. You're just calling out a tile, and Karuba does this. You're calling out a tile, and everybody has to place that specific tile. If someone calls out 2 giraffes, you have to locate your 2 giraffe tile, and in Savannah Park, you have to place that tile, that specific tile. You have some leeway here in Caldera Park, depending, because you may have several tiles with a moose on it. Yep. You get to select which one, even the one with the lake, and so you're trying to again build these animals in groups, and it's pretty tricky, especially considering the weather tiles. So that's kind of fun puzzle to think about and fun to play. And this is a type of game Laura and I like. We love puzzle games like this. And I didn't talk much about the tokens and stuff. They're regular thickness tokens, and the boards are regular thickness. There's not really much more. There's just tiles and boards in this game. There's nothing else really.
It did come with a score sheet.
To talk. Oh yeah, it does come with score sheets, and we always laminate it to and use a dry erase for the entire time we own the game. And this game, again, is going to be one that we keep because we just like the style of game. You can play it in 30 to 45 minutes, think and make some very interesting and fun decisions in the game, have some fun stuff happen to you. I've read some comments on Board Game Geek and some people got mad when they had to put in a weather tile in the middle of the game and it destroyed their plans. You need to make a better plan, first of all, and then don't be a sorehead when something like it happens to you. I mean, that's just the beauty of this game. I turned over a weather tile and immediately I had to turn over, and because once there's a tile there that doesn't qualify, we turn them over right away.
Yeah.
Because the other side has your icon on it, and you just turn them over right away. That way you're not thinking, hey, I've got this run going. You know, you don't, because that weather tile just destroyed that for you. So you have to kind of pay attention, and we turn those tiles over when they're disqualified during the game.
Because the action board has that be your first step, but we don't do it that way.
Yeah, so that's something that we do right away to save ourselves from making a bad error.
Because we're old and we're easily confused.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, I really like this game, and I really like Savannah Park. I love Savannah Park. From the first time I played it, I was in love with it. And it's just a joy to work your mind like that, but not too hard. This is a very light to medium game that has, again, some interesting and fun decision making that goes on during the game, and that's the type of thing we like to play. It will be in my top 100 games of all time, Caldera Park, right next to Savannah Park.
You're going to cheat and make them be the same one?
I'm going to cheat and make them be the same game.
They're very, very similar.
They're very similar.
It's not a lot of reason to own them both.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, we're going to.
Yeah,
so if you're like us, I mean, if you're like us and you enjoy those types of puzzle games, you certainly can own both, and we will. We're going to keep both in our library because I can name, I can name 100 games off the top of my head I would never play again. If you get on the Board Game Geek Top 100, I can find 50 games on there that aren't as good as Caldera Park.
yeah.
I'm sorry. That aren't as fun. And we like to have fun when we play a board game. And this game is fun. Just like Savannah Park, its sister game. It's very fun. Again, this is a little deeper, I think, because of the weather tiles. That just changes the game.
And because the weather tiles are random, you don't know what's going to
You just don't know what kind of weather you're going to have. So it's very thematic. The best bet in strategy that I used was to stay away from those weather spaces as long as you can.
Yep.
But sometimes you can't. Like I had one waterfall left, and Lori said, "Hey, I want to put this animal on a waterfall." I'm like, "Oh, I got one waterfall left, and it's next to a weather tile that's already out." But I had that animal tile, and it had to go on my last waterfall, which was right next to that weather tile, and so I had to turn it over. Just automatic disqualification. That tile couldn't be placed there. So those types of things go on, and I know that type of luck some people get annoyed by. It doesn't annoy me, I like it. But I really like this game. It's by Kramer and Kiesling, my favorite board game designers working in board gaming. And I love their games. I mean, so many of their games I just enjoy the complexity level. I enjoy the design that these guys put out. The tight design there just seem to be flawless. I love this game. So if you guys like Savannah Park. If you like Savannah Park, you're going to like this. That's just a given. It's just very puzzly, and we love that kind of thing, and Caldera Park is no different.
I could sit and play these games all day.
Yeah.
This kind of game.
So awesome. So I want to tell you guys about it, and it's going to be in my top 10. So far, I just would have a tough time believing this. I will find 10 games better than this in 2023.
Yeah.
I've already got Hickory Dickory in my 2023 top 10, and this is going to be in my 2023 top 10. Most of the time, there's just so many games that come out in the course of a year, and once they go past a certain complexity level, I just don't really even consider them for a top 10. I play them, and I may like them, but I don't know. This type of game here is good for board gaming. This is a game that somebody can, if this game was sold at Target, somebody could walk in there, buy this game, and say, well, that looks like fun, and take it home and figure out how to play it. And that's what makes the hobby of board gaming grow. And it's satisfying enough for people who are in the hobby. We've been playing board games our whole lives, and we love this game. It just hits a sweet spot for us. It's like sitting down and doing a crossword puzzle in the newspaper. It's that type of situation where you just enjoy doing that. It doesn't matter really that it doesn't have a great big board and miniatures all over the place. I don't know. I want to tell you guys about it. We just picked it. It was on sale at Cool Stuff for like $21.99, and when you can get something like this for $22 that you'll play your whole life. Okay, this is a game that just keeps on giving. It's an evergreen game, like Evergreen, the game. You know, that's another one. You know, Evergreen is a very good game. Is that a 23 or was that a 20? No,
I think that was 22.
22. But that's another puzzly type game that we just love because every time you play them, it's different. And I think there's something to be said from that. There's just a lot of games that you play that get kind of samey, especially big Euro games. They get a little bit samey. And something like this, it plays out differently every time. And if the design is good, and Kramer and Kiesling know how to do this, and we love Renature. That's another puzzly type game, tile laying, and I just love that game. It's an area control mechanism in that one, but man, it's just, I don't know, these types of games that you can play 100 times and all 100 times was different.
They're going to play differently.
You're going to play differently. That's the types of games we really enjoy, and Kramer and Kiesling did it. It's by Deep Print Games. They did a nice job with the publishing. Pegasus Spiel, I don't know whoever's responsible, but the art by Annika Heller. Looks good, you know, pretty. I mean, I don't know. There's not really much more to say about it. You got any?
No,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I can highly recommend it.
Yeah.
You know, highly recommend
Oh,
it.
there's a
It's great
backside.
game. Oh, yeah, is there?
Yeah. Oh, it uses an extra weather tile instead of the volcano.
Oh, yeah, there is another,
And the weather tiles are in the middle instead of on the edges.
So there's a game variant on the other side that you can get into too to make the game a little, give the game some more legs.
And
But,
having the weather tiles in the middle like that would make it much harder.
yeah. I mean, it's a fun game. Yeah, that is the bottom line. And it's a fine design by Kramer and Kiesling. These guys know what they're doing.
And this one has a solo. Does
Yes.
Savannah Park have one?
Yeah, I believe so. I think they both have a solo variant. Yeah.
Yeah, they both have solo
Yeah.
modes. So that's awesome too.
Yeah. So hey, that's Caldera Park. It's a fun, puzzly, natured game. I can recommend highly to any of you, and it's inexpensive. You know, none of this $150 garbage. You know, I say that because it just irritates me, but yeah, it's affordable. It's fun, and you'll be glad you bought it, picked it up, and played it. And hey, make sure you like and subscribe. I love every one of you. Keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet, and I'll see you the next time on The Bones Collector. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, welcome to The Bones Collector, commercial-free Bones Collector, because I'm not getting paid. I'm just talking about board games. Today, Laura and I just got done playing an abstract strategy game called Project L. Project L came out in 2020. It's a 1 to 4 player game, so solo players have at it. It's a great game. The designer is Michael Mikes, Jan Sokol, and Adam Spinell. I don't know who these guys are. I've never come across them. It uses an action point system, open drafting of these tiles, and it's an engine builder. You're building an engine. I guess this game goes faster and faster as it goes along. Let's talk about the production of this game. It's fantastic. I mean, you get a nice sturdy box, all these acrylic pieces that come with the game, these different shapes, double layered, thick tokens or tiles that you're going to be drafting. Very nice. And these player aids come with it, which are very handy. And that's it, folks. Rule book. And that's all there is to this game.
The book is multi-language, so it's really short.
So anyways, this is, like I said, it's an abstract strategy game, which we have a few of in our library. And we really, really do like this one. Lori has had this on her radar since it came out in 2020, and we've been trying to track it down to play it. And lo and behold, at the last convention we were at, they had a copy. We grabbed it. She grabbed it. She saw it. I've been wanting to play this for a couple of years. So we played it, and immediately after the first couple of games while we were there at the convention, we decided, hey, this is definitely something we really like. And couldn't find it. You couldn't find it. Company's out of business, blah, blah, blah. It's terrible trying to find a game that you really like when the company's out of business. And they were on Amazon for $50 or $60, something ridiculous. Well, it's not worth that. And so don't pay that, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, as I'm taping this, this is this is April 4th. April 4th at 5 o'clock in the evening, Board Game Bliss in Canada has this game, and it says they have more than 10 for 26 bucks. That's what we paid. We got it from them. Now you have to pay shipping on top of that, but it's worth it.
Canada, it's international shipping.
Plus they have Tobago, and so if you're looking for Tobago like we were, we picked that up and this. So, you know, make it worth your while. And they had Yinch, and but we figured that out too late. Wanted to add it onto our order, we couldn't do it. But we really wanted to add Yinch, and it's another good abstract strategy game. But yeah, it's called Project L. In Project L, you're going to do exactly what it tells you on this card. You start out with a little square yellow piece and a rectangular green piece. So you start out with that. And then that's a level 1 piece. The yellow. Level 2 is green. Level 3 is the blue and the yellow corner. And then these are the level 4 pieces, all these shapes right here. Now, on the left side of this player aid, it tells you exactly what you're allowed to do on your turn, and you can do 3 things of this list. And I'll tell you what those are and why they're important in a second. Then at the top, it reminds you that you can have exactly 4 of these puzzle pieces in front of you, no more. You can have 4 or less than 4. And then on the side over here is where you're going to put your completed puzzle pieces and stack them up because there's point values on them. Now the list of actions on your turn are to take a puzzle from one of the rows and place it in front of you. So you take up one of these puzzles and put it on top of your board here, just sit it there and put on, that's 1 action point. You've spent 1 point. You're allowed to spend 3. You can also take a level 1 piece. That's these little square yellow ones. You could take that. That's 1 action point. You can upgrade a piece. So whatever you have, maybe you could trade this yellow piece in for the little green level 2 piece. You could trade the level 2 piece in for the blue or the yellow corner, and you could trade either one of those in for one of these level 4 pieces. One of those actions, each one of them is a point. And you can do those things multiple times. Place a piece onto one of your puzzles so that it fits the recessed area in your puzzle piece. That costs you 1 action point. Now the last item, a master action, maybe you've got 3 or 4 puzzle pieces in front of you. Well, for 1 action point, you can put 1 piece of these puzzle pieces on each one of those tiles. That's how you become efficient at this game. That's what you're trying to do to get as many of these puzzle pieces done as possible. And that's very important. Depending on your player count is how many of these black puzzle pieces are going to be in the game. For a 2-player game, it's 12. So we have a stack of 8 and then 4 down here in front of us. Now, obviously, during the beginning of the game, you're not going to be able to work on these. I mean, you can work on them, but you're never going to finish them.
And you don't have enough pieces, so you're stuck.
So you're going to want to take ones from this big white stack. And as you can see, none of them have points on them, but they're easy to finish. So you want to take these first, and for instance, this piece here, I could be 1 action point, I'd draft it, 2, and 3, I could finish that in 1 turn, and all of a sudden I got another piece to deal with. So you get whatever puzzle piece is on the upper right hand corner, you finish that puzzle piece, you're going to add that to your engine over here. And these pieces begin to stack up, and you can see how this is going to work. Now some of these easy pieces do have points. So there was some 1s and 2s, and we just finished the game and we didn't have these mixed up. So you're looking to do these easy, like you could do this one and it would get you another green piece and stuff like that. And then as your pieces stack up and you get more and more of these pieces over here after you've completed puzzle pieces and you've got everything going, then you want to start taking these babies down here that give you more points. And that's the engine building part of the game, is to build up your pool of pieces in order that you might complete some of these other ones. And believe it or not, it takes quite a bit of these, like these square red ones. Man, you're just waiting for those puzzle pieces to come out. You want to snap those up. I mean, if it's going to take you 2 green pieces in order to finish this thing, like that, and then you're going to say, I finished that puzzle piece, and you get that red square, and those things are pretty nice. They cover a nice large area on the puzzle pieces. But that's all there is to this game. It's very simple. We just got done playing our last game. It took us 17 minutes, probably 15, because that was a scoring and everything.
Yeah.
Because you're going fast. I mean, once you learn what your available actions are, you count to 3. Okay, 1, and you start slapping pieces. 2, and 3. There, for 3 points, I just finished two pieces of the puzzle, and I get these 2 new puzzle pieces to add to my pool that I already have. And then these would go up here because they have no points on them. So I'm going to lay those up there. But then now, you know, you're going to refill these babies. And now my next turn, I'm going to be looking to draft some of these ones that give me points. And that's how this game is played. It's a lot of fun. It goes very fast, very fluid. It's a great gaming design. And I hope that you get a chance to try it. If you like abstract strategy games, which we do. We have a few in our library right now. Pentago is one of them that we keep, and I'm looking over at my games.
Quirkle.
Oh yeah, Quirkle. I think Sequence could be an abstract strategy game. But if you haven't played Quirkle, I mean, people laugh about that. It's a mass-produced game, but it's fun. Laura and I enjoy Quirkle. It's in our library. I'm not going to get rid of it. I really enjoy it. And a Pentago is a really odd abstract strategy game that we enjoy. But I mean,
mind twisty game.
Yeah, I mean, Calico and Cascadian, those are kind of abstract strategy games.
Camisado.
Yeah. Oh, you have Camisado. Yeah, I forgot about that one. And that's a very, very good game, Camisado. But yeah, there's some out there. Yinch, like I mentioned before. This, I think, right now is ranked number 12 in abstract strategy games on Board Game Geek.
Okay.
I mean, but it's a very, very good game.
That play rate is amazing.
Yeah.
It tells you how many tiles you can have in front of you. It tells you what every single one of your actions is.
Yeah.
It tells you what level each piece is on.
And if you want to challenge yourself, you can flip it over and it has a foreign language. So you can just play with a foreign language and say, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so the game is so much fun. I wanted to tell you about it. Again, we played at the last convention, which was in February, and we've been looking for it ever since. Lori found it on Board Game Bliss because we found it, but I'm not paying.
They wanted over $100 because they had the Kickstarter edition.
Something absurd and ridiculous.
Kickstarter stuff.
This little box is all you need. 26 something.
26.47.
Yeah, at Board Game Bliss. Pay whatever shipping. You won't be sorry if you like playing games like this. Plays 4 players, so you can all get out there and have some fun. Yeah, I already told them.
Oh, you told me.
I already mentioned. Yeah, it has a solo variant, and so yeah, I mean, what a great game! All your games don't have to be a certain style. You know, to have a library made up of games that are different from each other. I love games that do something different, and you've seen me talk about that on the channel. Just because they're creative and you don't get bored. I mean, when you're board gaming, you don't want to play a Euro-style game every time you play a game. You know, hopefully the Euro games that you are keeping in your library are made up of games that have different kinds of mechanics that you find interesting yourself. For instance, Village, where your meeples age and you're putting them in a cemetery. I love that. I'll never get rid of that game. It just is fantastic because of that. And Tobago, we just did a video on where it's a deduction Euro style game. We really, really enjoyed that. Let's see, Zolkin with the spinning gears. Hickory Dickory with the arms of the clock. If you haven't seen my video on Hickory Dickory, please check that out. That's a fantastic game. But you want a varied kind of game in your library so that when you play, you don't get bored. And this is an abstract strategy game that's very interesting, again, and very quick. There's a time and a place for a game like this. If you're tired and you don't want to get out a big game, this game is so much fun. Like I say, we just played it 5 or 6 times in a row in a couple hours. You know, I'd rather do that at times than play a big time Euro for a couple of hours. So yeah, I wanted to tell you about this game because it's not really that well known right now or being talked about. I think it's because it's not in wide distribution because they've gone out of business and the games aren't in game stores and stuff like that. But again, if you see this video and you snap to and get in touch with Board Game Bliss in Canada, you can get yourself a copy of this game. So I guess that is it for this game. I think I said everything I wanted to say. Most points wins the game. You count up all the points on the tiles that you've completed, and the one with the most points wins the game. Just an absolutely fun game. I'm so thankful that Lori found this game. She's had it on her radar forever. I never even looked at it. Got busy doing other things, and she kept this on her radar. And so when we played it, she saw it in the library at the convention. We grabbed it and had an opportunity to play it, and immediately. We knew we were going to say, hey, this is something we got to get. Very good game. But yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it. So please take the time to do that. I know that watching the video sometimes you just click off, but please hit that thumbs up for us. It really, really helps us and our video positions and so forth. And this is the only place that you'll see our videos. I'm not on TikTok or what's twitching or what's some of the other, Facebook or what is it?
Discord.
Discord. I mean, I don't do any of that stuff. We're just here. We don't get any monies or any free games. You won't see any includes paid promotion on my videos. We just don't want that to interfere with what we're telling you about board games. And it would. If someone sent me a game, and I say this all the time, if someone gave me a free game and said, here, you try my game and see if you like it. Well, I'm not going to say anything bad about that game because I probably like the person that gave it to me. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I don't want to put myself in that position. I don't tell you about games that are awful that I play. I can make a great big list of games that I thought were awful that you shouldn't buy. Some of them in the top 100 on Board Game Geek.
Some of them they might like.
And you might like that game, and I would hurt your feelings. So I just don't do that. I just want to tell you about the games that Lori and I play at the 2-player count that we really, really enjoy. And Project L is one of them. Thank you for watching. Keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet. And I will see you next time on The Bonus Collector. Bye-bye.